All right. Let's get right into it. Shot of one. Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh. Hashem Abishai. Double honor to the apostle, brother Elder Clay Millstone. Shot of one to the hoop of the elect. Shot one. Get to the lesson. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. As you see, the title is, I forgot the title was, but yeah. What it say? I forget already what the title.
You guys know that this is bad and the things are about to get real. China does not mess around when it comes to this. You know that the Chinese do not play around when they start warning their people. They told their citizens to buy a full year's worth of food. They told their citizens to get ready for being welded inside of their homes. They told their people how bad the geopolitics were affecting the country. Now the Chinese president, as the country faces the readiness to go to war with the United States of America over Taiwan and over the supply chain through the Taiwan Strait, the Chinese president is telling the people that they must begin at this very moment preparing for a worst case scenario. Now you know what that is, and I know what that is. That's nuclear Armageddon. That's World War III. At our best, it's a complete disruption to our supply chain. China is going to stop sending all goods to America and American allies, and we are going to be deeply entrenched in the heaviest gunfight and war since World War I and World War II. Now, citing what the president of China has declared, and I'm going to give you a quote here, as more complex security challenges, the country's leadership says that the people must get ready now for the worst case scenario. Officials say that citizens must remain keenly aware of the challenges. They must prepare for most extreme scenarios. This isn't some channeled discussion. This is the Chinese president telling in a televised interview, the Chinese people, it's time to get ready. Now, comments have shown up on how China, harbors no illusions over what happens in the fallout of U.S. rivalry. This, in part, is what China is doing to get ready. They're telling their citizens to buy food. They're telling their citizens to remain aware of what's going on. And they're telling their people to get ready for war. At any moment in time, China might make the move to change up from what is their constant day after day missions and drills running around the Taiwan Strait. They might switch one of those up into the beginning of our next world war. Through contracts and obligations for the security of Taiwan, the U.S. government has stated definitively that the U.S. military will act against China for Taiwan. And in fact, they have to. If the U.S. military does not stop or slow down China from reabsorbing Taiwan into the Chinese mainland, you'll have a complete takeover of the global superpower holding spot number one for China. America will be nothing anymore. And so the Chinese people, as part of the president's warning that was just issued on Tuesday, he stated that the country, as a rising global superpower, is facing more intricate and challenging national security concerns. He says that there are clear indications that China has no illusions that what happens between China and the United States of America will have extreme and grave consequences. Now, during the meeting of the National Security Commission, which the president chairs, he emphasized the need right now for the country's security apparatus to remain securely aware, acutely aware, as he puts it, of the complicated circumstances that affect China. He stressed the importance of comprehending major related issues to geopolitics, and that all officials across all of China, you're talking billions of people here, they have to get ready for World War III. He says they need to be able to weather high winds, waves, and perilous storms. You know, China is one that's always going to kind of put it in the context of a poem. China's national security continues to have concerns. They have more complex issues to address. Technology is just one of them. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on numerous Chinese companies. The Chinese president called out Washington and the USA for what he described as Western suppression against China. The tensions are prompting China to take measures such as the prohibition of key infrastructural operators that are purchasing products from U.S. memory chip maker Micron due to cybersecurity risks. Now, these meetings that were published by the Chinese president highlight just one issue of concern. We are seeing over and over again the people being told to grow as much food as you can. They have massive campaigns telling the people to get ready to basically go to war and bunker down. Now, my question for you is why the American people are not even being minutely made aware of the grave consequences that will come between now and World War III. It already started, and the sooner that you can begin to realize that we are already there, you realize we are facing an uphill battle. You know that we are in a time right now where your ability to get ready, everything you do, every pound of rice you put away, every bandage you put in your first aid kit, every bit of filtration you get for water, everything that you do between today and when the missiles fly puts you at that much more of an advantage against the tide that comes next. We will see unrest in America. You will see violence in your hometown. You will see families ripped apart as drafts are drawn up and people are sent to their death fighting against what is called the billion-man army. China has no concern about throwing as many bodies as they can against America. Absolutely none. You see, because if China loses millions, tens of millions of people to war, China's in an even better position because that's less mouths to feed. And so China's completely okay with that. They'll do whatever is necessary to win this war. They will shut down the Taiwan Strait. They'll shut down the South China Sea.
Luke 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourself, like anytime your heart be overcharged with surfing and drinking and carrying of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. It said, watch you therefore, and pray always that you may be a kind of word to escape. All those things should come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. Right? It said, watch you therefore and pray always. Right? We got again Luke 21, verse 34. It said, watch you therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape. All those things should come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Right? So you may be accounted worthy to escape. Right? To escape. All those things should come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. And Romans 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now, high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation near, that we believe the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast the work of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Right? Let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly in the day, not in rioting and drunken, not in clamor and wanted, not in strife and envy, but put you on the Lord Yahweh shall anointed, but not, and make not provision for the flesh, fulfill the lust thereof. Right? Romans 13, verse 11. And that know the time that now, high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation near, that we believe. It's a high time to wake out of sleep. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It said, but at the time and season, brother, I have no need that I write unto you. For yourself known perfect, the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Right? As a thief in the night. They should say peace and safety. Then sudden destruction come upon them, as trod upon the woman with child, and they should not escape. But you, brother, you are not in darkness You are not in darkness that they should overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right? Let us watch and be sober. For that sleep in the night, and that be drunken are drunk in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, but put on the breastplate of faith, and the love, and the helmet, the hope of salvation. Right? The hope for them. Verse 8, for the Most High not appointed us to wrath, but to attain salvation by our Lord, our anointed. Right? I'm going to get, is it 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1? Nope. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1. Close out with this. Yeah. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also in the last day, perilous time shall come. Right? Perilous time shall come. For man should be lover of their own self, covetous, boastful, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, and unthankful, and unholiness. Right? 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last day, perilous times shall come. Right? Perilous times shall come. Perilous times. Right? Perilous times shall come. I think that should be it. Get a couple more. Mark chapter 1, verse 15. Yeah, perilous times shall come. Mark chapter 1, verse 15. It say the time is fulfilled And the kingdom of our power is at hand. Repent yet and believe the gospel, right? Believe the gospel. The time is fulfilled. I know we should go back there. Let's watch a little bit more. Can't hear this again. Man, it's
day missions and drills running around the Taiwan Strait, they might switch one of those up into the beginning of our next world war. Through contracts and obligations for the security of Taiwan, the U.S. government has stated definitively that the U.S. military will act against China for Taiwan. And in fact, already there, you realize we are facing an uphill battle. You know that we are in a time right now where your ability to get ready, everything you do, every pound of rice you put away, every bandage you put in your first aid kit, every bit of filtration you get for water, everything that you do between today and when the missiles fly puts you at that much more of an advantage against the tide that comes next. We will see unrest in America. You will see violence in your hometown. You will see families ripped apart as drafts are drawn up and people are sent to their death fighting against what is called the Billion-Man Army. China has no concern about throwing as many bodies as they can against America. Absolutely none. You see, because if China loses millions, tens of millions of people to war, China's in an even better position because that's less mouths to feed. And so China's completely okay with that. They'll do whatever is necessary to win this war. They will shut down the Taiwan Strait. They'll shut down the South China Sea. Your ability to get a toaster, your ability to get parts for your air conditioner, the brakes for your car, the components for your medicine, the things that are keeping maybe members of your family, aged members of your family alive, will stop in an absolute instant. Now you have people out there who say that's doom and gloom, but I'm sorry that these pansies have not been able to break through their dislocation of reality to see that this is what is happening. The same people that say nothing ever happens don't watch the videos on the ground in Ukraine with people taking their cell phone and pointing it up to the sky, watching the missiles and the explosives.
That should be right there. Close it out. Yep, this will be it. We'll give our praise and the glory to Yahweh by Shem Shah. Double honor to the apostle, brother, elder, great millstone. Shalom to the whole back. Shalom, the time is at hand.